America was founded on the idea that we should have the right to say what we believe. However, an issue occurs on if it applies to discrimination. Many Americans have experienced discrimination through their race, sexuality, or religion, and has effects throughout their whole lives. Should we be allowed to censor discrimination if it is violating our freedom of speech? Today we interviewed a student at Westside, Spencer, to see his viewpoints on discrimination and the role of freedom of speech in our daily lives.
Hi. So, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Spencer.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
That's good. So, I'm just going to be asking you a few questions about a topic that's going on in the U.S. and other countries as well. So, what do you know about discrimination?
I know it's a bad problem in the United States that goes on, like, pretty much every day. And that, recently there's been, like, a lot of political debate on, like, whether there should be laws put in place as, like, protections for discrimination or not. And, it's just sort of a thing everyone has an opinion on, I think, about, like, if it's something that's more like just freedom of speech or if it's just generally, like, things you shouldn't say.
So, what is your view on discrimination?
I think compared to what I just last said, I'm more on it's just mean a lot of the time when you discriminate against someone. Like, you're not being a good person, so why do it? And, like, if you have an internal bias, just keep it an internal bias and don't always have to share everything.
So, have you yourself experienced discrimination because of gender, sexuality, race?
Yeah, for good old all of the above. Race-wise, it's always been just sort of more subtle, like, jokes, like, I don't want to say any of them because they're just sort of offensive. For sexuality, I was bullied a lot in middle school because I went to a Catholic school and I was a really gay kid, so that's always fun. Gender-wise, not necessarily, other than, like, the general misogyny from people. But yeah.
What do you think should be done to, like, stop discrimination in general?
I think to stop discrimination, it's about both people putting in effort to, like, I think it's about people putting in effort to just be a better person and, like, spreading education about people who are different than you might be or have different viewpoints, and just sort of respecting other people. And I think something that can be taught in, like, every classroom is just generally, hey, respect your neighbor, and if they're different from you, that's not a bad thing. You don't have to get all defensive about it and then mean about it.
Okay. So, where do you, like, get your support from?
I get a lot of support from my friends and my family, like, mostly my friends.
And what about teachers?
Teachers, now I would say definitely are there, I guess. I don't know. In middle school, no. That was when I was bullied the most, and, like, teachers didn't care that much. It was, like, a religious thing. Whatever. But now I would say teachers, I could go to one of my teachers and be like, hey, I'm having a bad day, blah, blah, blah. And they'd probably be like, oh, I'm sorry. How can I help, kind of thing.
Okay. And, where's the, like, for you, like, where do you think the line is between expressing your opinion or, like, just insulting people and deteriorating a person's social status?
I think the fine line comes between if you're discriminating against them for. Okay. It's sort of like, hey, are you just making a casual joke that's like offensive and you shouldn't make, and like just that's just sort of general discrimination, or is it like you're literally not giving this person a job because they're not white, you know? Like, I think that's sort of where it becomes just freedom of speech to you're just being not nice.
We also took the time to talk to Gayla Powell, another student at Westside, and heard what she had to say about racial discrimination.
Hi, what's your name?
Gayla Powell.
And how are you, Gayla Powell, today?
Good at the moment.
So today we're going to be asking you a few questions about a problem that's going on in the U.S. and in other countries. So what do you feel about discrimination?
That it's bad and that it should stop.
And what do you feel about what is considered freedom of speech?
Freedom of speech is saying something that you believe without putting down another person's core beliefs. Like being tolerant with your beliefs.
So what do you think about when people start discriminating and using the First Amendment or freedom of speech as their excuse to discriminate others?
I think they're just making it bad for other people who really want to express like what they believe. It's terrible. It's kind of bad.
Do African Americans in America have the same equalities and job opportunities as other races in America?
No.
Why
You want
not?
me to elaborate on that? Okay. I say no because I know for sure. When I went in for like one of my job interviews, like my pre-job interviews before I could actually interview, like the actual one, they said that I had to change my hair. They told me I had to like flat iron it or I had the permit, and I was like, so y'all are trying to make me look more Caucasian, and they were like, no, we want you to look presentable, so they want me to look white. So no, it's not equal for all races in this country.
Do you believe that everyone else in America feels the same way?
I think it depends on the way the person. It depends on their experiences.
As seen in this chart, Gayla's experience was similar to that of many other African Americans who felt this way on equal opportunities of African Americans. In a 2015 study by PBS, 87% of people believe that African Americans and whites do not have the same opportunities. This also applies to job opportunities. 76% of African Americans believe that they don't have the same job opportunities as whites, while on the other hand, about 52% of whites believed that. Regarding the topic of the Black Lives Matter movement, African Americans and whites were surveyed and asked what they thought about this movement. 67% of African Americans think it focuses on issues of racial discrimination, compared to only 39% of other races thinking it distracts attention from real issues. Many people disregard the issue of discrimination. The people who believe that discrimination is a prevalent issue are those discriminated against. Therefore, people are unaware of these issues, as heard in what Spencer said. Our words and actions mean so much more than we think. We should work together as a society to improve how we treat others. The traits that make us who we are should not be the ones that prevent us from achieving what we want, which is freedom of speech.